Well, all the goofing off is done. 10 games of messing around, all for the playoffs. Okay, they weren't messing around. All these teams were working hard. 4 Valley teams making it to the playoffs. And tonight, we're going to see Logan as they host the Panthers of Pineview. A long drive for the Panthers up from St. George. But the Panthers, boy, can they score. Second highest scoring team in 4A, 48 points per ball game. The Logan Grizzlies can score by their own right, but they don't score at that clip. They're one of the most improved, actually they are the most improved team in the state over the last year. And they've been able to do it with offense and defense. So the big question tonight, can the Logan defense slow down that Pineview offense, and can the Logan offense keep it going and put enough points on the board to put the Panthers away? Got a good one coming up. First round of the state playoffs. They're going to get that ring at Logan High on the Valley Channel. Well, Coach, you got 10 weeks behind you, lots of lessons learned, et cetera, et cetera. They learned them pretty well, going 9-1. But now it's time for the playoffs. And this is a team that hasn't made the playoffs since the 2015. So none of your players have experienced the playoffs before. Tell me what it's like and what you need to do as a coach and a staff to prep kids for stepping it up.
Yeah, a lot of these kids haven't been in a situation like this. The last time they played a playoff football game, they were in 8th grade. So it's definitely new to them, but you really have to just turn it up a notch once you get to the playoffs. Just everything needs to step up. Coaching, playmaking ability from the players, just everything as a whole needs to step up. But you also look at it like it's just another football game. You guys are 9-1 right now. You guys are more than capable of winning football games. So treat it like another game and go out there and go shoot to be 1-0 this week.
We were talking before we started the interview here about Region 12, Region 9, both very strong regions. I mean, tell me a little bit about that region down there. They seem like they score maybe a little bit more than this region up here, but it's not like you guys don't know how to score either.
No, it's a very talented region. I mean, from top to bottom, it's very competitive. And your top 4 teams in that region, they can put up points, and they are very explosive. You know, so this Pineview team is a very explosive team that we're playing today. So with that being said, we've just got to try to minimize big plays, play our best on defense, and then offensively, we've got to do the same thing and put up points. So
Dylan Brown, I think he's their quarterback, but he plays other places. I think number 1 is what number he is. You watch the film. That kid, you know, he's a state leader in a lot of categories. Tell me about him. Tell me about this Pineview offense and defense, what you expect to see tonight, what you need to do to move on.
No, they're a very talented team, like I was just saying, and, you know, he's a very talented player. He can do a lot. He can throw. He can run. He's very elusive, and so we've got to be able to minimize big plays, you know. Keep them from having big plays, make them put together long drives, and we got to get them off the field so that our offense is on the field. So defensively, we've got to combat that, and then offensively, we've got to be explosive. We've got to get after them quick. We've got to put up points early because they're a team that can score. So we've got to be able to, you know, stay in the game early as far as our offensive scoring. And if we can do that, I feel very confident that we can do what we need to this game.
Coach, great season this season. Good luck from here on out, and thanks for taking the time.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Say the word base. Say the word mess.
Over the period of time, my hearing became worse and worse.
Over the course of the years, I developed a hearing loss, and I would not be able to hear my employees talk to me sometimes.
For Paul Dayton's and Cache Valley's integrity, his character, his background, his equipment, I would recommend him to anyone for a hearing aid specialist.
today means something different. Some use beef frozen from far away. But Wendy's believes the juiciest hamburgers are made from fresh beef, raised right here. Land of the beef, home of the deliciously different Dave's Double.
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Mountain Star Cache Valley Hospital, together we're greater. Cache Valley Electric, a tradition of excellence since 1915. New Smile Dental, experience dental care. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you've been missing. Lynn's Audio and Video, Cache Valley specialist for 60 years. Mountain Valley Heating and Air Conditioning, give us a call, you'll be glad you did. Herms Inn, last chance for great food. Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. Four Seasons Apartments and Townhomes is your home. Planet Fitness of Logan, no intimidation and only $10 a month. Aspen Dental, get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 25 years.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Logan High School. It's time for the playoffs on the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. I'm Eric Olson along with you this Friday afternoon, beautiful Friday afternoon as they start the national anthem here at Logan High School. We'll step aside for that and be back with more after this. The national anthem here at Logan High School as we're just a few minutes away from kickoff of this first round for a playoff game. Logan at 9-1 playing host to Pineview out of St. George. Pineview comes into the ball game tonight, number 3 in their region, Region 9. They are 6-3. They were 4-2 in their region. Logan was 4-1. Pineview scores lots of points. Lots and lots of points, and 48 points per ball game. And that's a lot, in case you didn't know. The Logan Grizzlies will have to try to find a way to slow that offense down and keep scoring on their own. The Logan Grizzlies have been doing a pretty good job all season long of putting points up by their own right, but this is the North against the South on a beautiful Friday afternoon here in Logan. Dallin Brown is the quarterback for Pineview. He's number 1. He will switch out with Gunnar Croton, number 15, the junior. Brown's a senior. They'll go back and forth, kind of like Mountain Crest uses their quarterbacks down the road in Baldwin. And they, you know you're going to pass when Croton's in there. He's more of a thrower, pocket passer. Brown, he's a dual threat. He can do a little bit of everything, and he's got the numbers to back it up. We'll take a look at some of those numbers and talk about these teams a little bit more, but for now, we're going to step aside. When we come back, it'll be time for the kickoff and the 4A playoffs on the Game of the Week.
They would tell me something, and I'd say, huh? And then they'd tell me again, and I'd say, huh? And they'd say, never mind. And so I called and made an appointment.
Say the word pass.
He's a PhD, and I know what it takes to get a PhD.
Say the word red.
It was like night and day. And then the hearing test was the thing that I thought, wow, he really knows what he's doing. I would recommend Dr. Daines to anybody, everybody.
Back at Logan High School, as the Grizzlies will receive to start this ball game. Pineview won the toss and deferred. They'll get the ball to start the second half. Logan healthy, Pineview healthy, and you can see looking across the way, they brought a lot of players with them. That St. George area is just booming. If you haven't been down there in the last few years, it is just unbelievable the way it's grown down there. And there's talks of adding 2 more high schools down in the St. George area. That's what kind of growth is going on down there. Well, for the Grizzlies, they've won their last 3 games last Wednesday night, 10 days ago. They beat Payson 28-21 down in Payson. Thornley ran for 113 yards and a touchdown. Parkinson threw for 292 and 3 touchdowns on the way to that 28-21 win. It's the first playoff appearance for the Grizzlies since 2015, so this is a new experience for a lot of these kids. For Pineview, really the only common opponent these two teams have, it's Green Canyon. Pineview lost the season opener in a dramatic game, a high-scoring shootout to Green Canyon, while Logan beat Green Canyon during region play. Connor Brooksby's the kicker for Pineview. He's within shouting distance of lots of state records, and he grew up here in Cache Valley. Out in Hyde Park, his older brother played for Skyview. His sister played soccer up here. About 6 years ago, the family moved down to the St. George area. The crowd is ready, and so are we. Playoffs underway. This one's returnable, caught at the 1-yard line. Sideline return is number 9, and that's Nye, wearing a different number this week. And here comes Johnny Parkinson. Number 8, he's number 3 in 4A in passing touchdowns at 22, and number 3 in yards at 2,476. Pawnee in the backfield with him as they spread it out. They throw the little quick out pattern. Charlie Jensen drops it. The one loss they've had on this season was against Skyview, and that was the bug that bit them in that game, the dropsies bug. Parkinson would actually be number 2 in 4A if he went by total yards. He's number 3 as they go by yards per game. He's got one quarterback ahead of him that's played one less game, so he's got a better yards per game. They motion Thornley out. They fake the little screen to him. Parkinson looking downfield in the middle. Caught! Out to midfield goes Nye. And the Grizzlies are in business. A 25-yard gain. 26 yards. The out to Van Leeuwen. Van Leeuwen slips a tackle down the sideline. Open the door, mama, he's going to the house. 3 plays, 77 yards, but there's a flag at the 50-yard line. Back in the area of an offensive hold. Let's see. Ineligible man downfield on the Grizzlies.
Downfield, that ball will be coming back.
Why would you even have a lineman downfield on a passing play? Unless you've got a tight end that didn't report in. So Mama shut the door. They're not bringing it to the house.
It's a loss of 5 yards.
A 51-yard touchdown throw negated by the penalty. An ineligible man downfield on a pass play. Which is, you know, when you see it, but on a quick drop. So the Grizzlies will go back to the drawing board. They give it to Nye on the end around. Nope. Parkinson keeps it, and he is walloped.
Parkinson.
Nasty hit by a couple of Pineview Panthers. Mason Katoa, one of them. You can tell him by the long hair, number 40. He plays in the middle. He looks like a middle linebacker. Loss of 1. Parkinson, a little bit of pressure, steps up, puts it right in Nye's hands for a first down.
Down to the 30-yard line.
26 yards.
First and 10, Grizzlies.
And Nye has 2 catches for 51 yards, and the Grizz in a hurry. They give it off to Pawnee.
Pawnee on the carry.
You see that a lot. We've seen that a lot this season, where the Grizzlies get a big play. They hurry to the line. Then usually they'll give it to Pawnee up the middle, try to catch the defense napping a little bit and get into their next play. Worked well as you got 2nd and short now. Here's the out pattern. Nye
Kevin Nye makes
has a first down. 6 yards.
18-yard line. That's a first down for the Grizzlies.
So a penalty negates a big touchdown pass and run. But the Grizzlies are marching again. Pawnee down to the 15. Picks up 3. They're going to mark him at the 16, so he picks up 2.
Second down is 7.
Thornley yet to carry the ball. Thornley's number 10 in 4A in yards as a running back. And he's split out in that bunch formation to the top left of your screen. Parkinson, quick hitter. Charlie Jensen inside the 5. His knee goes down right at the 5.
Charlie Jensen.
11 yards, first and goal for the Grizz.
First down, Grizzlies. First and goal for the 5.
As they've got some really good rhythm going on this drive. Parkinson, lots of time, looks inside, catch, and stretching for the end zone. The ball looked like it went across, but I was going to say his knees were down. So a 4-yard pass play. I believe that was Nye again.
Reception by Kevin Nye from John.
It was.
Second and goal from the 1.
So 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. See if Parkinson goes up under center. He's not. He's going to stay back. They throw to the end zone, and it's way wide of Charlie Jensen. So if you're just joining us, the opening kickoff was taken out to the 23-yard line by Logan. Took him 3 plays to find the end zone, but the touchdown, 51-yarder to Van Leeuwen from Parkinson, was called back on an ineligible man downfield. And now the Grizzlies have 3rd and goal at the 1. The Pineview 1. Thornley's in the backfield. And Pineview's got everybody up in the box. Thornley runs into a big white wall. He pushes his feet. Does he get across? No, 4th down. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And they're going to go for it. It's win or go home. Parkinson's going to keep. Gets a block. He gets in. One of the Panthers came free, and Pawnee laid a nice lick on him. Cleared the hole, and Parkinson steps in for the opening score.
Jonathan Coffin in to attempt the extra point.
Coffin for the PAT. Kicks good, and the Grizzlies on the board first with 8:41 to play in the first period. 7-0 Logan.
My older brother thought he could do a 360. Yeah, he got maybe a 60 before his face plant. We went to the emergency room and Dad told us to behave because we probably would have to wait a long time. But they brought us right back here, and the doctor used x-ray vision to see what the big dummy broke.
ER specialists at every one of our 8-star hospitals are dedicated to seeing you fast. Mountain Star Hospitals. Look for the star.
Gonna post this on Instagram.
Well, the Grizzly offense comes out with a good opening drive. That's all well and good. The problem now is you have to give the ball to the Panther offense, and they know what to do with it. So let's see what comes of that. Coffin with the good kick into the end zone, and Pineview will start at the 20-yard line.
Panthers will have the ball 1st and 10 from their own.
Ray Hausner, the head coach of the Pineview Panthers, longtime head coach down there. You know, the last time these two teams met, 2005 in the state title game. That's the only time these two teams met. Logan won the title, 56-21. Brown quickly to the edge. Has a completion
To the outside.
and has 7 yards.
About 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and
Nope,
7.
check that, it's 3. It's on the other side of the 20. And that looks like Moten.
Isaiah Moten.
Brown's a dual threat quarterback. He can run, he can throw, he is speedy. Here he goes. He's going to tuck it, he's got some room. He's ushered out of bounds after a pickup of 10.
Pineview keeps the ball, gets out to the 32-yard line. Make that the 33-yard line.
He's number 1 in 4A in rushing yards per game, 121. He's got 1,095 yards rushing, 121 per game for Dallin Brown. Here's the give to the big man. Right up the middle, goes right. Tosh right, picks up 11 yards and a first down.
That's right on the carry. Another first down for the Panthers out to the 42-yard line, 43-yard line.
The Panthers in a hurry. Give it to Wright again.
Off to Wright again.
Arm tackles aren't going to bring him down. He picks up 6.
Drugged down by Alex Ballot.
Wright goes about 5'11", maybe 220. And he stays in the backfield. See if Brown is still the quarterback. It is. They hand to Wright. He picks up a couple.
Wrapped up.
So Brown is number 1. He will trade off with Croton, who's number 15.
Shot bell on the tackle. 3rd down and 3.
3rd and 3.
For the Panthers.
Right in the backfield, Brown the quarterback. Tight formation, they're going to hand it off. Nope, Brown's going to keep it. Got to see him.
Brown keeps the ball.
Brown down the sideline and steps out of bounds. That's interesting. He stepped out of bounds. It's a big run. It's a 40-yard run. He stays. I don't know if his momentum was just carrying him and he went with it. He looked like he could have scored. Here's the quick throw. Out to Moore. Moore with 5 yards. I told you this offense could move the ball. You wouldn't listen. Oh, and people in motion all over the place for Pineview. Wright has a first down, but they had 2 guys in motion. One of the receivers was on the wrong side, and as he realized, tried to get back the other way, the ball was snapped.
Got an
illegal shift
against the Panthers. That'll back it up 5 yards.
Beautiful day here in Logan. It's probably 60 degrees and the sun's shining.
Make that 2nd down and 10.
And it's 2nd down and 10 after the penalty. Boy, they blew their whistle just as right before the snap, but it was just kind of a little tweet of a whistle, and then Pineview wasn't sure whether the play was going or not. So they blew it dead.
2nd down and 10.
Check the sticks, and it's 2nd and 10. 7-0 Logan, 6:44 to play in the first period. Pineview knocking at the door. Brown's going to keep it. Run to his right. He's got blocking on the edge. Steps inside and scores.
And he's in the end zone.
15-yard touchdown run for Dallin Brown. He's got 3 carries for 65 yards. I mentioned he's number 1 in 4A in rushing yards per game, and he's number 1 in 4A in rushing touchdowns. Yeah, that's his 17th.
Connor Brooksby.
And here's Brooksby on for the PAT. He's 3rd career PATs in the state of Utah is Brooksby, the lefty. He gets knocked down. The kick's good. Here's the flag. That'll probably be taken at the kick. Let's see what the call is, but it's going to be a running into the kicker, roughing. We're tied at 7 with 6:35 to play in the first period here in Logan, as Nye and Van Leeuwen will go back to receive the kick. Coach Van Leeuwen is out on the field talking to the officials. Not sure what about. That was an 8-play drive by Pineview. They averaged 10 yards per play. The big play was the 50-yard run by Dallin Brown, 40-yard run by Dallin Brown. Of those 80 yards, he had 65 of them with his legs, and he threw for a few. And remember, there was a penalty they had to overcome as well. It ended up being an 85-yard drive. So Brooksby on to kick. Last one was returnable. This one not so much. He puts this one through the back of the end zone. And the Grizzlies will start at their own 20-yard line. We talk about leaders in 4A. Thornley number 10 in yards, and Parkinson number 3 in passing touchdowns and passing yards. Got to mention defensively, Caden Rice. He's number 3 in 4A in tackles. I think the Logan offense is going to have to score a lot of points tonight, because I don't know that Logan's defense is going to be able to slow down Pineview. Still a lot of time as they're going to run the end around with Nye. Nye spins out of a tackle, stays on his feet out to the 34-yard line, 14 yards and a first down.
Excuse me, Kevin Nye gets out to the 34-yard line. That's another Grizzly first down.
He was able to get out of a tackle because they weren't trying to haul him down. They were trying to tear the ball out. Here's the give to Thornley. Looks for a cutback lane. There's not one. He gained a yard.
No, maybe a half a yard on the play. Second down and 9. Cade Thornley in the carry.
Second and 9 as they look to the sideline for the play. Parkinson, 5 of 6 for 72 yards and a rushing touchdown. In the pistol. Has room to step up. Has a man wide open. 65 yards. And we came for a football game and a track meet's broken out at Logan.
Wide open in the secondary. Score is 6-0 for the Grizzlies.
Coffin's kick is good, and just like that, Grizzlies back out front, 14-7, Logan.
You're so adorable. I'm taking you home.
The world judges. We don't. Planet Fitness. Be free.
Back at Logan High School, the Logan Grizzlies just need a couple of plays, 3 plays, 80 yards, and they lead 14-7. They may have to replace some lights in that scoreboard tonight. We'll see if anybody truly stops anybody or if turnovers bite one of these teams. Again, there's a lot of time left, and teams can make adjustments at halftime. But for now, it's been all offense for both teams.
The ball sails in the end zone from there on.
And Pineview's offense takes the field. 137 yards on 6 of 7 passing for Parkinson and a touchdown. They've run 14 plays. And they have 147 yards, so they're averaging 10 yards a play, speaking of the Grizzlies. Croton's in there now. Hit as he throws. Ball wide of the intended target.
It's a little wide. Intended for Isaiah Moten. Second down and 10.
Logan's defender got in there just as he threw it. Looked like Ethan Davis, number 22, came off the end. Brown's in now. And he moves into the backfield. No, he's going to be a receiver on this near side as they go that spread 2-by-2, and Croton sends him in motion. Here's the little pitch inside to Brown. Down he goes.
And Dallin Brown gets tackled.
Andrew Wallace makes the tackle. Brown loses a couple of yards.
It'll be third down and 12.
Pineview attacked the middle on their first possession. This time they've looked to the edge a little bit more. Here's Croton, stands in, delivers high and wide of the mark. And there's been a defense sighting. Pineview will have to punt, write it down. We may not get many of these tonight. Van Leeuwen back at the 50-yard line. High kick, and Van Leeuwen waves for the fair catch at about the 46. So Logan with a 14-7 lead with 4:48 to play in the first quarter takes over in good field position.
This year's Logan High Grizzlies football team with Bank of Utah, Brown Monument, Citywide Home Loans, Dwell Realty Group, Clark Floor Coverings, Juniper Systems, Lazy.
And the Logan offense huddles up on the sideline.
Pool & Willis Orthodontic, Taco Time, and Thornley Dental. Thank you for supporting this year's Grizzly football.
Parkinson's got Thornley behind him. Fake the motion and give to Thornley. Not much running room.
Thornley may have picked up a yard.
Thornley picks up about a half a yard. Logan, 25 yards on the ground. 8 carries. It's about 3 yards a pop, but Nye had 14 yards on 1 carry. In the middle is Thornley. He's got room. They're playing too high safety. That's where the opening's going to be. And Thornley picks up 14.
Down to the 39-yard line. That's another Grizzly first down.
He's the 4th receiver to catch a pass. Give it to Pawnee. Pawnee stacked up after a yard.
Pawnee gets a handoff, picks up a yard, it'll be second down and 9.
They run that so often. And we've only seen, this is I think the 4th Logan game. I wonder if they ever throw off that, where defenses are just kind of, hey, that's what they do after a big play. They'll come and hurry and get that. A play action off that. Might catch a defense napping. 4-man rush. Parkinson hangs in and then throws this one away.
Pass incomplete. It'll be third down.
They're making a nice pocket for Parkinson, this Logan offensive line. In fact, they gave up their first sack of the season on the second to the last game of the season 2 weeks ago. Parkinson with only his second incomplete pass. And now it's 3rd and long. 3:34 to play in a 14-7 ball game. Logan with the lead in the ball. We're in the first quarter. 5-man rush. They hit Pawnee coming out of the backfield.
Pawnee on a swing pass.
Pawnee blocked for a count and then just slipped out of the backfield. And he picks up 12 yards on 3rd and 9.
First down.
You're going to hand to Pawnee. And that play we were talking about before, he moves the pile about 3 yards.
Makes it to about the 24-yard line. It'll be second down and 8.
Parkinson with the little stick route.
That pass complete to Van
9
Leeuwen,
yards
left
for
side
Van
of the
Leeuwen.
field. And that's good for another Logan High first down at the 16-yard line.
9 of 10, 172 yards for Parkinson. We're in the first quarter. Parkinson has another out pattern. It's Thornley. Slips a defender, thrown on his head down at the 10-yard line. So pickup of 6.
That's Kay Thornley on the reception, breaks a tackle. Gets down to about the 11-yard line. It'll be second and 5 for the Grizzlies.
Pineview having a little trouble with some tackles in the early going. Logan's broken some tackles on a few plays. It's second and 5. Pawnee in the backfield, stays into block. Parkinson over the middle. Man comes free, but he overthrows him. Katoa was back there, and he almost got a hand on it. So now it's 3rd down and 5 at the Pineview 11-yard line. Parkinson's going to roll. That side's overloaded. He throws it up for 9, and it's tipped away. Nice play defensively by Pineview. So Pineview's defense says, hey, Logan can play defense, so can we. And it'll be 4th down, and Coffin is on for a field goal attempt. This will be about a 28-yard field goal attempt from the right hash. He's a left-footed kicker. Coffin, the long, lanky senior.
Timeout.
And a timeout.
Official timeout.
By the officials. They're going to
flag on the play.
No, it's going to call procedure on Logan.
5-yard penalty.
Wonder if the center moved the ball. I didn't see anybody move, so that backs it up now.
You get a 33-yard attempt.
Now it's a 33-yard attempt. Spots down, plenty of leg, and they say no good. Look good from here, but we're a long way away from it. We'll stay right here because they're just going to swap out the offense.
Panthers will take over.
The angle that we're on, those officials are down there right under each one of the pipes. They can look up and see it. And it was high enough. Up here on top of the box, you look to see if it passes in front of one of the in front of one of the uprights. It was high enough, we really couldn't tell from here. It looked good, but it was no good. It stays 14-7. Here's Wright up the middle.
Wright powers up the middle.
And I don't know if he was tackled
Picks up
so much as he
at the 30-yard line.
Tripped over the body of Anthony McDade. McDade's been hurt a lot of the season. Good to see him back. Coach Logan Brown probably happy to see him back as basketball season approaches. And here's a procedure penalty on Pineview. So their second penalty of the game.
False start against the Panthers. Back it up 5 yards.
Wright's averaging 7 yards a carry. He's got 4 carries for 28 yards. I mean, he is a load. Flags down again. And the two officials talking about, I think Pineview may have just gotten it back on the offsides by Logan.
And an offsides will give the 5 yards right back for the Panthers.
So the officials run a couple of plays. And now we're back to the guys in the pads. 1st and 10, this is where we started. Hand it off to Wright again, right up the middle. Gets his legs cut out from under him after a pickup of 8. He's already big and hard to bring down, but when you've got a hole that you could drive a truck through, that makes for a problem. Brown's going to keep it around the right end. Here comes a late flag. I think they're going to get a hold on the edge.
The ball's marked to the 47-yard line.
The corner tried to come in and make the tackle, and the receiver didn't. Receiver had him and he was blocking him really well, and as the corner tried to shed, the receiver just hung on. And it was right out there in space, right in front of the official. So that's going to be from the spot of the foul, which is up at the 43. So this will put it back at the 33-yard line. It'll be second down and about 7. 1:09 to play.
Second down and 7.
In an entertaining first quarter, 14-7 Logan. Logan's showing blitz. Now Brown checks with the sideline. It's a 4-man rush. Brown over the middle, and he overthrows his man, and a flag. 3 flags. The ball doesn't have to be catchable in high school to be a pass interference. And really, the corner just shouldn't even have touched that receiver. That's Jalen Sargent. He's kind of put his shoulder into the receiver's back as the ball went by. And that's 15 yards and a first down. It's going to put it up at the 48-yard line. So the Grizzlies with another penalty. That's 5 penalties in the first quarter on Logan. Pineview's had 3. Plenty of action from the Stripes. Now it's Croton in at quarterback. He's knocked down as he throws. This one knocked up in the air. No flags anywhere.
Pass broken up by Jalen Sargent.
I think you'll see the Logan pass rush just pin their ears back when Croton's in there. Now Croton comes to the sideline on 2nd and 10.
Wright gets the handoff.
Right, only a yard that time. Pineview is a little bit fortunate. The far side receiver left a little early. All he was doing was going out the block. 3rd down and 9. Brown. Oh, he's got lots of running room to the near side. Brown tucking and running. Steps out of bounds at the 35. 16 yards on 3rd and 9.
36-yard line. Pick up a 35. That's a Panther first down.
He's got 79 yards on 5 carries. And he's been able to get outside of contain. Hand to right, up the middle, not much there. Good job by the interior line of Logan that time to just gum up the works, right? Picked up a yard. He's got 39 yards on 7 carries. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. It's 14-7. Logan leading Pineview.
And that's the end of the first quarter. Logan
Back at Logan High School, Eric Olson along with you as we start the second quarter. 14-7 Logan. It's 2nd and 9 for Pineview as they head toward the south end zone. They're at the Logan 39-yard line. Give to Wright. Wright picked up a couple. He's got 8 carries for 41 yards, but his last 3 carries have been for 1, 1, and 2.
No gain on the play. Third down and 7.
3rd and 7. Brown waits. Now somebody breaks through. They want to keep him in the pocket. He's dangerous outside of it, and they get a hold of him before he makes it to the sticks. It's going to be 4th down and 3. That's a win for the Logan defense as Brown has 79 yards on 5 carries. Most of them have been when he's broken the pocket on a pass play. Pineview lines up to go for it on 4th and 4. Logan's been offsides once early. Brown looks to the edge. Wright's got a lot of room. He's got the first down by a yard. Let's see where they spot him.
He's real close to the
Yeah, I
first
think
down.
he's got it. He does.
And he picks it up at the 25-yard line. First down, Panthers.
For Brown, that's only the 3rd pass he's thrown. Well, he's thrown that other one on the PI. They're going to throw it out on the little screen out in the edge. Christopher Caver. Is that 22?
Country Moore in reception. A pickup
of about 4.
About 4 on the play, 2nd down and 6.
Well, that was Moore, Hunter Moore. There's a one-hopper. Nope. I think he said they caught it, and there's a flag at the line of scrimmage.
Pass is ruled incomplete.
Okay, yeah, it looked like a one-hopper from here. That was Hunter Moore that caught the last one. And what's the penalty? Brown's 4 for 4. He had an incomplete pass that was called back. Or taken off the stat line as a pass interference. Coach Hausner's out there talking to the officials. And what's the call? Procedure on Pineview. And I wonder, honestly, if a couple of times their receivers get off really fast, and a couple of times their receivers have left just a hair early. And they called it that time. I mean, those receivers are doing a real good job of timing that and getting out of there, and a couple of times they've been a little early. Bunch to this short side. The field side has 1 receiver. Brown waits. Wallace closes in, and the ball comes out, but they're going to call it an incomplete pass.
3 there by number 7.
I said Wallace was keeping Brown in the pocket, and McDade hit him. And now Logan's just, when Brown is in there to throw or goes back to throw, they're just kind of in a mush rush. They're just trying to keep him in the pocket. Brown throws the slant. It's complete. And they haven't been able to get that receiver down yet as he heads for the sideline. It's Michael Moore.
And pass complete.
Down at the 2 on 3rd and 11.
About the 2-yard line.
24 yards and broken tackles.
First and goal for the Panthers.
First and goal at the 2. They're going to give it to the big man right up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown.
Right up the middle for 6 for the Panthers.
We're a PAT away from a tie game. As Tosh Wright finds the end zone. And really, when you look at the stat sheets, the season stats and the game stats for this Pineview team running the ball, it's Wright and Brown, and that's about it. And that's who it's been so far. Brooksby kicks good. 10:03 to play in the first half. We're tied at 14.
So, you bought your computer from one of those big box stores or online, and now it's really slow or just not working right.
Target acquired.
PCs Unlimited can fix it. Fixing computers is what we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. Service, repair, diagnostics, networking, upgrades, system and data recovery, all your computer needs. Our prices are low and our customer service is the best. You won't get help from the big box or online. Come see the professionals at PCs Unlimited.
14 all here at Logan with 10:03 to play in the first half, and I was just privy to an interesting discussion here. There's some coaches up here filming, and on that third down run by Moore as he dived toward the end zone. Boy, these coaches were up here just hollering, and during the timeout I asked them what about, and they're shooting film from up here. They pulled the iPad and showed me. Moore fumbled the ball. Moore fumbled the ball. That ball was out. And Logan had it. And they said he was down. So Pineview maybe with a little bit of a break there. Here's Van Leeuwen looking for an opening. Steps out of bounds at the 25. We're tied at 14 after an impressive drive by Pineview. They converted on a couple of 3rd and long. They also converted on a 4th and 4 on that drive. .9:55 to play in the first half and a 14-all ball game. Parkinson, lots of time. Going for the home run ball to Van Leeuwen.
Pass intended
incomplete.
Van Leeuwen. Broken up by a Pineview defender.
Boy, Parkinson's offensive line is doing a good job giving him time to throw. Pineview has primarily been rushing him with 4 and dropping 7. Now Pineview playing just with the 1 safety. Parkinson throws inside to Nye, and he is hit just as he catches it. And he's separated from the football by Jeshen Allen. 3rd and 10. So a misfire on first down and a drop pass on second. That's 3rd and long. Now if Nye had caught that pass, it still would have been a gain of only a couple of yards. But Allen read that and came up hard. Parkinson against a 4-man rush. Unloads right at the sticks. His receivers got it.
Pass complete.
I think that's Jensen.
Charlie Jensen makes the catch.
He dropped the first pass of the game, did Jensen. And on 3rd and 10, he picks up 11. Thornley's in the backfield with Parkinson. 2 wide to the near side. Pineview showing blitz. 5 men coming. They throw it to Jensen. Jensen spun out of bounds after a 5-yard gain.
Stand to the 40-yard line. Second down and 5 for the Grizzlies.
That was a big 3rd down conversion. If you're Logan, boy, you'd hate to kick from way back there. Here's the give to Thornley. Thornley looking for a cutback. He loses a yard. 4 carries, 1 yard for Thornley as the Grizzlies haven't been able to get it going on the ground.
3rd down and 6.
28 yards for the Grizzlies total on the ground. That's on 11 carries. Charlie Jensen has to ask for the play. It's 3rd and 5. Parkinson across the middle. Oh, that should be a flag. Oh, and it's not. Jensen was hit early. The Grizzlies got flagged for that earlier. Every flag in the house came out. And then that one was as obvious as the sun in the sky, and the flag stayed in the pockets. It's a bad break for the Grizzlies. And they'll have to punt.
Jonathan Coffin in to punt the ball away for the Grizzlies.
Sauer runs on a little bit late. Coffin will punt. He's standing at his own 25. The lefty gets a high kick. This one's returnable. And a big hit put on at about the 34. And that's where Pineview will take over with a chance to take a lead for the first time today.
First and 10.
.8:14 to play in the half. In a good ball game between a couple of tough teams. Here comes the motion. Croton's going to fake. He's got a man down the seam. The ball hanging up there. The receiver makes the adjustment and catches it.
Real nice long pass play. Completed to Dallas Brown at the Logan 30-yard line. First down.
36 yards. It's Brown that came up with it. The defensive back didn't make the adjustment that Brown did.
Pass complete from
quick grab, tackle. Like might have been Bateman out there from Croton. A pickup of 5
for the Panthers.
Here comes a flag as this play gets started.
There's a flag on the play.
And I think Pineview may be a sideline warning. Let's see. Yeah, it's a sideline warning against Logan.
Against the Grizzlies. It'll be 3rd down and
so it's another Grizzly penalty.
For Pineview.
That's the 6th penalty on Logan. 3rd and 1. Swing out to right. Nobody's out there. Right's got blockers. Right to the end zone.
And
touchdown.
Catches the swing pass out in the flats.
There was one defensive back out there, and that's it. There were 2 blockers and then right. And the DB got buried. Pineview takes the lead. For Brooksby, this will put him in 2nd place all time in PATs made in the state. Still a long way from number 1. Kicks good. 21-14. Pineview with the lead in the first round playoff game here at Logan.
Do you need some help crossing the street?
The world judges. We don't. Planet Fitness. Be free.
back at Logan High School with 7:22 to play in the first half. Pineview has scored 14 unanswered to take a 21-14 lead. They've scored on back-to-back possessions. The big play on that one was a 36-yard pass from Croton to Brown. And then 22 yards, right. He just swung out of the backfield. A couple of linemen pulled. And they had a lot more numbers than the Grizzlies did on that side. Brooksby's set to kick off. We mentioned he's now moved into second all-time in the state in PATs. He's got 194. He's tied with another former Pineview Panther, Riley Stevenson.
That kick goes out of the end zone for a touchdown.
He's 24 short of the state record, if you're keeping score at home and want to know. So Pineview flexing their muscles a little bit. The last two possessions. Dallin Brown, we knew he was there, Mr. Everything. And he's made an impact as quarterback and as a receiver. And his impact as a quarterback has been more running than throwing the ball. Logan had come up with a couple of stops, but now Pineview came out and the last two drives put up points. Here's Thornley.
Thornley finds a seam, picks up
inside, picks up 7. His best run of the night. 5 carries, 8 yards for Thornley. Penalties plaguing the Grizzlies, 6 on Logan, 4 on Pineview. So the guys in stripes are equal opportunity flag throwers. Just means they're doing their job. Here's Thornley again with 4 yards and a first down. Clock runs with 6:55 to play in the first half. Parkinson unloads. He's got Nye with a step. Hello, everybody. Kevin's home. 69 yards. Nye, 5 catches, 130 yards. The kick's good. We're tied at 21. 6:40 to play in the half.
Hi, Cache Valley. This is Fernando over the Factory Pizzeria. We're running a special right now. We're giving a free nachos when you buy a large pizza with 3 toppings. Just mention this out and you're gonna get a free nachos every time you come. The Factory Pizzeria is located in 119 South Main, below the Gias in the basement. Come see as soon as you can. Thank you.
We got a good one here at Logan High School, 21 apiece with 6:40 to play in the first half. As these teams seesaw back and forth. Logan led 7-0, then 14-7. Then Pineview took a 21-14 lead. Now we're tied at 21. Coffin puts a leg into it, and it's into the end zone. A couple of good kickers here tonight. Coffin, it's in high school to have a weapon like that, to know you're gonna be able to put it in the end zone if you want to and not worry about returns. And Brooksby on the other side, one of the all-time best as a kicker. Pineview scored the last 2 times they've touched the ball. They hand to right up the middle. He's been bottled up his last few carries, but he picks up 7 here. 50 yards on 10 carries.
Park City leads Salem Hills 21-17.
Little out pattern's a one-hopper, and it'll be 3rd and 4.
3rd down and 3.
Brown is 5 of 7 for 40 yards. Croton is 3 of 4 for 63 yards. And a touchdown. I believe it was him that threw it to right. Logan's got to be careful and not jump off sides on 3rd and 3. Said it was 3rd and 4. It's closer to 3. Logan changes up their defense a little. Brown's looking at the inside pattern. Now he drops the ball. He broke out and had the ball knocked away, and he's taken down. 4th down and 5.
4th down and about 5.
So the Grizzlies do what they haven't been able to do all half, and that's catch Dallin Brown when he's broken the pocket. Brown loses 2. He still has 80 yards on 7 carries and a touchdown. Have to hurry Katoa in there. He comes on a little late. 4th and 5. Low snap, good grab. High punt, and Van Leeuwen says, everybody get away. This one's going to take a sideways bounce, and the Grizzlies will get it at their own 39-yard line. Tied at 21 with 5:14 to play in the first half. As the start of this game, we wondered if we'd see any punts at all. And then as we've gotten into the second quarter, late into the first, both defenses have made a play here and there. The offenses have shown that they are mortal. And there's 5:14 to play in the half. Logan looking to regain the lead. 4-man front. Parkinson's going to reverse out of there. Over the middle, his man makes the grab. Let's see who it was. Nye. Boy, Nye's having a game. 9 yards for Nye.
First down, 2nd and 1.
He's got 139 yards on 6 catches and a touchdown.
Throw things in the stands.
Inside give to Pawnee. Pawnee leans forward, and he's really close to the first down marker. I think he's got it. He does.
And that's a first down picked up by Pawnee. 1st and 10 Grizzlies at the 49-yard line.
14 of 19 for Parkinson, 272 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air. He's also run for a touchdown. Give to Pawnee. Pawnee picking his way forward for a yard.
Gain of 1 on the play, 2nd and 9.
.41 yards rushing as a team for Logan. And they keep running the ball every so often just to try to keep that defense honest. Now no safety for Pineview. They're bringing an extra 5-man rush. Parkinson has Jensen. Jensen pushed off and got away with it.
Down to the 36-yard
15 yards and a first down.
Grizzlies.
There's the quick throw outside. It's incomplete.
Pass intended for Thornley, incomplete.
Second and 10. The Grizzlies, with 3:52 to play in the first half, are on the Pineview 36-yard line. We're all tied at 21.
2nd down and 10 for the Grizzlies.
Second half will be under the lights as the sun sinking down behind us. Here's the little counter. And Thornley's wrestled down by the neck as he loses 2.
40, Mason Katoa, a loss of 2 on the play. 3rd down and 12.
And you wonder if this is 4-down territory if you're Coach Van Leeuwen and the Grizzlies, or if you don't get any more yards if you punt it from here and try to pin the Panthers back. 3:20 to play in the half. Parkinson, good pocket. lays it out there for Van Leeuwen. All sorts of contact, and here comes the flags. It's Dallin Brown that's out there on him. Best on best. And Brown just had his hand wrapped around Van Leeuwen's waist as he came out of the break. And Van Leeuwen didn't really try to run under that. He was throwing his arms up looking for the flag. And he got it. Still waiting on the official call.
Pass interference.
There's multiple flags, so they have to check with every official, and it is pass interference against.
First down for the Grizzlies.
The question I had was if it was going to be pass interference or defensive holding. Pass interference, definitely a benefit for the Grizzlies. That's 15 yards. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20.
Ball will be marked at the
23, excuse me. That was out of the 38 after the loss on the Thornley run. The Grizzlies with a new set of downs. Again, that safety's up there within a few yards of the box. They're trying to take advantage of him. Parkinson into double coverage, and this one's knocked away.
The jump ball out there intended for.
That was Nye.
2nd down and 10.
They sent him on that post. So they got Brown playing back at a safety. Now they're really playing two with Brown back there and the other in the slot. More over the slot. 2nd down. 3:08 to play in the half. Nye in motion. Fake the give, shovel pass. Nothing. Loss of a yard.
Shovel pass.
They look to Pawnee.
A loss of 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Third and 12. Logan's 2 of 5 on 3rd downs. Two and a half to play and the clock runs. Logan at the 25-yard line of Pineview. Here comes pressure. And Parkinson had to get rid of it. Really for the only time, the first and only time all night, Parkinson was rushed. He was hurried. He's been able to stand back there, and that time Pineview started collapsing that pocket a little bit. So now it's 4-down territory. Van Leeuwen on the outside to the near side. Parkinson, here comes everybody. Van Leeuwen with the catch! Touchdown, Grizzlies. Van Leeuwen's 2nd scoring grab of the night. And the Grizzlies back out in front. Kick's good, 28-21. Logan with 2:21 to play in the half.
Vehicle won't start? We can fix that. Not running right? We can fix that. Won't stop? We can fix that. Auto Evolution, honest service at a fair price on Airport Road.
Well, let me throw a stat line at you. Dallin Brown's putting up a pretty good one for Pineview, but Johnny Parkinson through the air is 17 of 25, 310 yards, 3 touchdowns. He scored a touchdown rushing. There's 2 minutes and 21 seconds to play in the first half. Coffin's kick this time short, returned out to about the 22-yard line by Gavin Bateman, and that's where Pineview now takes over, trailing by 7. What a fun first half this one's been.
1st and 10 Pineview at their 23-yard line.
Brown has 80 yards and a touchdown on 7 carries, 40 yards passing and 36 yards receiving. Press coverage near side and a bunch formation to the far side. It's Croton, back to throw, underneath. He waited. Good time given to him by his offensive line, and then he throws incomplete. Croton's 3 out of 5 for 63 yards and a touchdown. I do need to check that. Make sure it was him that threw the touchdown to Wright, whether it was him or Brown. Now they throw to Moore out on that little
quick pass to number 17 on the outside, Michael Moore.
Screen out there. Moore catches it, but 1 yard. Moore's got 3 catches, 30 yards. It's third down. 3rd and 9. 2:04 to play in the half. 2 out of 5 on 3rd down. Here comes a late blitz. Croton has Moore at the sticks. And a half a yard past him. 10 yards and a first down.
4-yard line, that's good for a Pine View first down.
The 1 3rd down they didn't convert on. They converted on 4th down. Croton again, looking underneath. This one bounces off his receiver's shoulder pad as the defensive back got there just as the ball did, and there's a Grizzly defender down. Is it Larson?
Broken up by Isaac Larson.
It is Larson. There's 1:53 to play in the half. He's slow to get up. And now he goes back down, and I don't know if it's a leg or his bell was rung. Yeah, it's a leg. Looks like his right leg. Boy, and you hate to be without him. As he's picked off a pass or 5 this season. Replaced out there by, well, you got Dylan Butters out there on that side now. Sargent's the corner to this side. Give to Wright. Wright finds a hole. Wrangled down after a pickup of 6, 7. It'll be 3rd and 3. Clock continues to run, approaching a minute and a half. Brown's going to keep it.
Brown keeps
Brown.
the ball. He finds a hole.
Goodbye.
And he takes it. Oh, touchdown.
59 yards. Anything you can do, I can do better, is what he's hollering across the field to Johnny Parkinson. But they're playing 2 different football games. Parkinson, the throwing quarterback, the passer, and Brown, the runner. I was talking to some coaching staff for Pineview. They said that Air Force was a place that Brown wouldn't mind ending up. He'd fit that offense. Brooksby all alone in second place now in all-time PATs. 1:28 to play in the first half, tied at 28.
Day 568 of our journey into America's freezers. We've found ourselves at a location which we're told has frozen beef, but we need to dig deeper. Is the beef currently frozen?
Yeah, it's frozen.
Would it be possible to actually go in the freezer and get those frozen discs right out of the ice?
Oh, we already did that all this morning.
Might it be possible to have it on a stick, like a popsicle? No? All right, fair enough. With every restaurant, I feel we grow a little bit closer to actually getting in the freezer.
Don't settle for frozen. Swing by Wendy's and try a Dave's Double to see how fresh beef tastes. And now, great offers are available in the Wendy's mobile app. Download, sign up, and check your account to start redeeming today.
Tied at 28. Less than a minute. It took less than a minute for Pineview to tie this thing back up. I believe they took over at 2:21. And there's 1:28 to play now. See how aggressive Logan is, trying to take a lead back into the half. This is a game that is tough on defenders. As Johnny Parkinson is dueling with Dallin Brown, and they've dueled to a 28-28 tie. Brooksby to the end zone. Skyview's leading in their playoff game. They're playing Snow Canyon 31-14. Haven't had time to look for any of the other scores for you. There's no time between plays. We'll come back with some score updates if you're watching us live on the webs, the interwebs. If you haven't enjoyed this first half, then you just need to give up football. Or you're a defensive purist. Parkinson unloads late, finds Van Leeuwen. Van Leeuwen tucks and dives.
Van Leeuwen on the reception out to the 30.
18 yards.
First down, Grizzlies.
The clock stops on the first down. Van Leeuwen's got 117 yards receiving. That one's incomplete.
Flat pass intended for number 5, incomplete.
Thornley can't get there. And Nye's got 139 yards and a touchdown on 6 receptions. Van Leeuwen, 2 touchdowns and 117 yards on 4 receptions. 1:13 to play in this first half. You don't want to give Pineview any time. 3-man rush. Parkinson looking out front. Van Leeuwen's tackled. Here's the flag.
There's a flag on the play. That pass intended for
That's a sick feeling as a defensive back, as your receiver has the inside leverage and he starts to accelerate past you. And Bateman did about all he could do. And that'll be 15 yards. On the ball at the 47-yard line of Pineview. See, we might be about even on penalties now. Yeah, each team with 6 penalties. So this team's even. This game's even all over the board. And Parkinson just had enough time. They were a 3-man rush with 8 men dropping, and Parkinson just stood back there and looked for a receiver, and same thing's going to happen here. Looks to the sideline. Oh, it looked like a catch. They called it incomplete. Van Leeuwen, so the clock stops. He was sitting on his tush. Must have slipped through and hit the turf. The official was only 15 feet away, so he had a good look. Timeout, Pineview. 1:02 to play here in the first half. We're tied at 28. Mountain Crest is in St. George, playing Desert Hills. Green Canyon in St. George, playing Dixie. Snow Canyon's at Skyview. And I guarantee you that they don't have any better weather down there in St. George than we have here tonight. .328 yards and 3 touchdowns for Parkinson, as he's put on a show. And on the other side, Dallin Brown's put on a show of his own. 8 carries, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns as the quarterback. He's thrown for 40 yards. He's got 36 yards worth of receptions. That's on 1 reception. Parkinson's going to roll far side. On the move, Thornley, first down.
Thornley
Clock stops.
Down to about the 32-yard line.
15 yards and a first down.
Logan High, first down.
.55 seconds to play, and Logan driving again. Pineview take another timeout. They don't want to give up any more points before the half. and Pineview gets the ball to start the second half. It'll be really interesting to see what changes are made at halftime, what adjustments are made by both of these teams. So in the 4A first round, as they approach halftime, Mountain View and Stansbury are tied at 22. Park City leads Salem Hills at the half, 21-17. Skyview now 41-13 over Snow Canyon up the road in Smithfield as they're at halftime of that one. 40-0, Orem leading Tooele late in the first half. Ogden and Spanish Fork have just kicked off. Mountain Crest and Desert Hills are about 45 minutes away from kickoff. Green Canyon and Dixie, they won't kick off till after this game's over. 7 p.m. Tied at 28, Logan looking to take a lead into the half. Here's the give to Pawnee.
Pawnee keeps the ball.
Pawnee picks up maybe 6.
Picks up about 4, second down to 6.
Let's see where they spot him. Well, he picks up 5. Parkinson, double move. Up the sideline he goes. Van Leeuwen makes the adjustment. His feet dragged. I think he caught it.
Van Leeuwen
yeah.
Makes a catch on the sideline inside the 10-yard line. At the 8-yard line, first and goal Grizzlies.
25 yards for Van Leeuwen. Pineview going to take another timeout. They're going to take their last timeout. 33 seconds to play in the half. Pineview takes their last timeout. Logan's still got a couple left. They've got all 3. If you're the Grizzlies, you've got an interesting choice to make here. You're first and goal at the 8. You get aggressive and score in 5 seconds and give Pineview time to try to match. Do you run it on first down and run the clock down a little bit and then use your timeouts? Coach Van Leeuwen and his staff something to think about. I would think you probably just keep your pedal to the metal and try to punch it into the end zone rather than get cute about anything. 142 yards for Van Leeuwen, 139 for Nye receiving. Nye with a touchdown, Van Leeuwen with 2. Parkinson, 3 touchdowns, 368 yards in the first half passing. Logan's running every so often. I mean, they've run it 17 times. They've passed it 29. Parkinson fakes. Here's the give to Thornley. Thornley steps out of 2 tackles and into the end zone. 8 yards and a touchdown for Thornley. Parkinson on that. Just that read option. He gave it off at the last second and held the defender. And then Thornley did the rest.
And it's good.
We've got an Xbox game going on here. 25 seconds left. We'll just keep it right here. A 35-28 ball game. And a kickoff to come. Logan leading. Thornley with 18 yards on 8 carries and an 8-yard touchdown there. (20 of 29 for Parkinson, 368 yards, and I'll check my math at the half and make sure I didn't give him some extra numbers, but that feels right. 3 touchdown throws, 2 to Van Leeuwen, 1 to Nye. The one thing we've not seen in this first half is a turnover, as Coffin kicks it off. Both teams playing extremely well offensively. Fielded at the 6. This is Bateman.
And the return
finally dragged out of bounds up near the 30. There's 18 seconds left.
That's about 14 more seconds than Dallin Brown needs to score.
It'll be 1st and 10, Plainview.
And Brown's coming out as a receiver on this. Brown's coming out as a receiver on this possession, and Croton is the quarterback. And I would shade the safety his way every inch. And they look the other way. Ball up for grabs, and it's incomplete.
It's incomplete.
With Croton back there, if I'm Logan, I might put some pressure on him. He's not the runner that Brown is.
2nd and 10.
It sure is easy to coach from up here. Looking over the middle, pass complete by Croton. Clock stops, and now you're in Logan territory.
4 seconds left in the half. The ball's at
22 yards.
7-yard line.
And I think Logan's going to call a timeout with 3 seconds left. Logan calls a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So this will be the last play of the half. So if you're the defensive coordinator, you have 4 guys. Hold hands around Brown, put him in the middle, and don't let him out.
4 seconds.
And then let the other 7 guys deal with the other 10. I mean, Pineview's not a one-dimensional team, but Brown is for sure their best player. Four seconds. They put another second back up on the clock. Croton's the quarterback. I think that's Brown. Set wide to the far side in that bunch. Croton's going to pitch it. They're going to come back to Brown. Now Brown with the football. Brown unloads. He's got a receiver behind the defense. It's knocked up in the air. And the receiver had a chance at it. And the Logan defender hit the receiver, and the ball hits the turf. What a first half. Entertaining here at Logan. 35-28 as we go to the half in this first round 4A playoff game. You're watching the game of the week on the Valley Channel.
So hot. Hey, hottie.
Looking hot.
Me hot. You're hot.
Your bod is so hot. Your bod? So hot.
So hot.
You guys want to grab something hot from somewhere totally hot? That sounds so hot.
So hot.
And that's why I don't like gyms.
Well, we're not a gym. We're Planet Fitness.
No gym intimidation, no lunks, just $10 a month. We're not a gym. We're Planet Fitness.
At Ultra, we don't believe in limits or telling runners they can't or it's not possible. That's why we dared to make shoes with a foot-shaped toe box and gave runners zero-drop technology so that runners could say goodbye to limits too. Ultra invites you to experience the difference everyone's talking about with zero risk. Love your run or send them back within 30 days, no questions asked. Get your pair today at ultrarunning.com. Ultra, zero limits.
feet, gotta shake your pants. Shake your pants, yeah, take a chance. And if you can't move feet, then wave your hands. You wanna know a little something about me? I was born to rock the party. I was born to rock your body. I'm fresh, I'm slick, I'm locky-docky. I'm laid back, I'm feeling this. It's a nice night, and I just wanna let it go. If you play back, I know you're feeling this. Come on, baby, let's get easy,
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Mountain Star Cache Valley Hospital, together we're greater. Cache Valley Electric, a tradition of excellence since 1915. New Smile Dental, experience dental care. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you've been missing. Lynn's Audio and Video, Cache Valley specialist for 60 years. Mountain Valley Heating and Air Conditioning. Give us a call. You'll be glad you did. Herm's Inn, last chance for great food. Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. Four Seasons Apartments and Townhomes is your home. Planet Fitness of Logan, no intimidation and only $10 a month. Aspen Dental, get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 25 years. Back at Logan High School as we get ready to start the second half of the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. Eric Olson along with you, an entertaining first half. Sure hope you enjoyed it. For Pineview, 196 yards rushing in the first half, 139 by Dallin Brown, 136 through the air between Brown and Croton for 332 total yards. For the Grizzlies, 52 on the ground, 368 through the air, 420 total yards. After this kick, we've got a correction to make. In that first half, there was a couple of defensive plays made by number 24 for Logan on the Logan roster. That's Anthony McDade, who's been out with an injury all season long, and I mentioned that was him, and nice to see him back. No, actually, tonight, that is Shopbell. Shopbell's wearing 24. They broke out these black jerseys, and some of them have gone missing. And that's why Nye is wearing 9 instead of 1. And Shopbell is wearing 24. Here's the little swing trying to get the screen going out to the edge. And Moten loses 3.
Wrapped up immediately, a loss of 3 on the play, second down and 13.
Moten, it's his second grab. Moore's been the top receiver. They're going to run it the other way, and that's Moore. And he lets it get off his hands. It's 3rd and 13. 3 of 6 in the first half for Pineview on 3rd down. Brown, 8 rushes, 139 yards, and the 2 touchdowns in the first half. Wright with a touchdown and 57 yards on 11 carries. Brown passed for 40 yards. Croton passed for 96 and a touchdown, and Moore 58 yards on 5 receptions. Brown swings it out to Wright, and he slipped down, and his knee touches the ground. They lose 2 yards, and boy, not the way that Pineview wants to start the second half. They lose a bunch of yards.
19 for Pineview.
Pineview will kick from their own end zone. Logan leads 35-28, and they're about to get the ball back in what would seem to be pretty good field position. Van Leeuwen, fair catch, loses it. Guess what? Before that, I'm thinking no turnovers in this game so far, and I didn't say it on purpose. And it looks to me like Pineview's got the ball at the 39-yard line.
Van Leeuwen normally sure-handed, and the first turnover of the game is a big one. Logan has the ball inside the 40 with a 7-point lead, but they turn it over. So instead, it's Pineview with a new set of downs at the 39, trailing by 7. Brown's going to keep it, looking for the edge. They string him out and run him out of bounds after he picks up 4. Man, he's fast. Pretty good size, too. Looks like he's about 6 foot, 6'1". Gonna fake the give to Wright. They're going up top. Moore's got separation. Hauls it in. Boy, how big's that fumble now? Down to the 10-yard line. 48 yards. First and goal, Pineview. Trying to tie it up on their second possession of the first half after the fumble. Croton with the pass. Ball's free. They're going to say it's incomplete. They tried the little screen out there. Good job by the defensive back. And now Brown comes back into the game. Croton to the sideline. Second and goal from the 10.
Second down and goal from the 10-yard line.
For a defense to have a good offense like this off the field and then have to come back on. You can't give an offense like this many opportunities.
Right up the middle.
Because this is what's going to happen. It's going to be third and goal at the 1 as Wright picks up 9.
Down to about the 2-yard line. It'll be third down and goal.
And one of the Grizzlies is down. May have been the first guy to hit Wright. He might as well go stand out on the highway and take the first dodge that comes down the road. That's what it's like hitting that right, kid. It's going to be third and goal just outside the 1. And I would sure guess that Wright's going to handle the ball again. Might be a minute, though. Now he's sitting up. Larson's back in the ball game, which is good to see. He went out with an injury in the first half. Let's see who that is. He's not moving that right arm. And let's see if we can see who that is. Is it second down and goal? Is it third down and goal? They've got it listed as third and goal. Give to Wright, puts his head down. He stops short. That's Dylan Butters that they're looking at. Fourth and goal at the 2, Wright with no gain. Fourth and goal for Pineview. Trying to tie it up. Brown's going to keep it. He's got plenty of room on the edge. Steps in for the score. That corner's got to get off that receiver and try to force him back in. That's one thing I've noticed about these Pineview receivers. They have got clamps for hands, and they're keeping their hands inside and getting them on these Logan defensive backs, and they're not getting away. So the fumbled punt costs the Grizzlies big. As Brooksby's PAT attempt ties it up. 35 all with 9:14 to play in the third.
tell me something, and I'd say, huh? And then they'd tell me again, and I'd say, huh? And they'd say, never mind. And so I called and made an appointment.
Say the word pass.
He's a PhD, and I know what it takes to get a PhD.
Say the word red.
It was like night and day. And then the hearing test was the thing that I thought, wow, he really knows what he's doing. I would recommend Dr. Daines to anybody, everybody.
35 apiece with 9:14 to play in the third quarter. As Logan had Pineview in a 3-and-out. They were going to take over the ball in Pineview territory, and the punt return was muffed. Pineview recovered. And the Panthers took it 61 yards and tied this thing up. The big play on that drive was a long pass to Moore. He got 48 of that 61 yards on one play. If I remember right, that was on third down. So Logan in a tie ball game brings their offense out onto the field. And they had a good rhythm going to end that half. Parkinson's going to pitch. Thornley out near the first down marker. He's past it. He picks up 11.
Yard line. That's good for another Logan High Grizzly first down.
Pawnee's going to go in motion. Again, reversing out is Parkinson. He's got a man wide open underneath. It's Nye. Nye out of bounds at the 46, a 15-yard pickup.
6-yard line, first down, 10 Grizzlies.
$154 yards for Nye. Here's Thornley looking for an opening. Patient running.
Thornley.
2 yards.
3 yards, it'll be second down and 7.
Logan doesn't have the big bruiser like Pineview has in right. He's a Mack truck, and Thornley's more of a sports car. Second and 7 as Nye goes in motion. They're going to give it to Thornley on a delay. Thornley caught as he cut back inside. He picks up a yard. It'll be 3rd and 6. 11 carries, 32 yards for Nye. And Pineview's got a player down. He's holding his knee.
Injured player on the field.
It says he's wearing 51. I do not have a 51 on the Pineview roster that they brought with him, and that doesn't look good. He's grabbing at his right leg in the knee area. I'm looking at the sideline, and Butters, who went off earlier, got hurt on the tackle of right. He is on the trainer's table. He's got his pads and shirt off, and they've got a big old ice pack over his right shoulder, so he's probably done for the night. They're going to try to help 51 up, and he doesn't want to put weight on that knee. These guys are big and fast, and they might be a little grumpy, and they might be teenagers, but they are kids, and you don't want to see them get hurt. But football's a sport where people get hurt sometimes. So we'll hope that that's nothing serious for 51.
3rd down and 6 for the
As it's
Grizzlies.
3rd and 6, the Grizzlies had some time offensively to talk about this one right at midfield. 4-man rush.
The ball knocked right back at Parkinson. It's incomplete. It's knocked down. Logan will have to give it back to Pineview. I can't imagine they would go for it here. But they're not bringing in Coffin. Pat Coffin was getting ready to put his helmet on, and they waved him back. 4th and 6. See if they try to get Pineview off sides. Nope, they just snap and go. Parkinson's got running room. Puts his head down. First down.
Johnny Parkinson keeps the ball, drives forward to the 40.
Senior quarterback needed 5.5. He got 6.
First down.
That's his 3rd rush of the night. One he got back to the line of scrimmage, the other he lost a yard, and that one he picks up 6. A huge 4th down conversion with 7:40 to play. Parkinson's going to keep it again.
Parkinson keeps the ball.
And he pushes forward for 5.
39-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
That time looked like a design run. Now he gives it off to Pawnee. Pawnee runs into a pile.
Pawnee driving forward.
And he's going to be just short of the marker. On 2nd and 5, Pineview says they have the ball.
Ball be marked at the 35-yard line.
And the head official said no.
3rd and 1.
Ball's down. Pineview was sure they had the ball. And one of their players came out of there with it. And it's 3rd down and less than a yard. Pawnee with Parkinson. Pineview's offsides.
Flag on the play.
So they get it the easy way.
Offsides, the call against Pineview. That'll be a first down.
So back to the penalties. Pineview 7th.
Mark the ball at the 30-yard line.
60 yards of penalties for Pineview. Logan's got 50 yards worth of penalties. Pineview has one more penalty than the Grizzlies, and that was just it. 1st and 10, the Grizzly offense on the move. Parkinson in trouble, stood in too long, takes a big sack. You don't see many sacks given up by this Logan offense. Parkinson had room to step up. Instead, he kept drifting back, and he lost 11 yards.
10-yard loss on that play. It'll be 2nd down and 20.
In the first half, he did a great job of stepping up and moving forward and climbing that pocket. And on that one, he just kind of kept backing up, and he ended up backing up right into where that defensive end was. The tackle had taken the defensive end wide and deep. So a mistake there by Parkinson, who's been close to perfect all night. Parkinson out of trouble, throws this one into traffic. And it's incomplete. Now it's 3rd and forever.
3rd down and 20.
That sack's huge. Logan's shown that they're willing to go for it on 4th down, so maybe you're 2 downs here. Try to pick up 10 or 12 and then get the rest. You don't need it all. 5:35 to play in the 3rd quarter in a tie ball game. Tied at 35. Now Parkinson climbs the pocket, has lots of running room. Picks up some of the yardage.
Parkinson
finally hauled down after 15 yards. It's going to be 4th and about 4.
For the Grizzlies.
Depends on the spot. So we made the mistake of drifting back earlier, and this time he learned from it. And here's another injury. That might be Bateman, number 12. It's his left leg they're looking at. 51, they took him off the field, and he's over on the trainer's bench. It might be a cramp for 12. They've got his leg up. Yeah, they're just working on a cramp on him. As the shadows lengthen here at Crimson Field.
Sun will be behind the Wellsvilles in about 5 minutes. Lights are on, and there's plenty of people home here at the home of the Grizzlies, watching a good ball game. 35 apiece with 5:13 to play in the third quarter. Logan had a 7-point lead at the half, 35-28. Looked like they were going to get the ball back in great field position, but then fumbled a punt that Pineview recovered and took 61 yards for a score. Not off the recovery, but on a few plays later. So now it's 4th and a long 4. Short 5, depending on whether the glass is half full or half empty in your life. Parkinson steps up, says something to his line. Pineview bringing 4. Parkinson throws to the edge, and it's broken up. Pineview will take over. I don't know if he ran the pattern deep enough to have a first down anyway. That would have had to been a perfect pass because that was great coverage out there on the edge by the Panthers. And Logan turns it over on downs. Logan is 3 for 8 in this game on 3rd down. They've converted on 1 4th down. Pineview's converted on 1 4th down. They're 4 for 8 on 3rd downs. So 4:45 to play in the 3rd. Pineview trying to take the lead. Croton in there over the middle, hits his man on the move. He takes a big hit, but hangs on. That's Moulton for 24 yards. And Pineview quick up on the ball. Flag thrown as Wright runs for 3.
Pickup of about 3 on the play.
Croton's thrown for 120 yards now. 7 of 11 and a touchdown. Now we got Brown in there as well. Brown and Croton both in there. As we await the call, an illegal shift on Pineview. That's happened a couple of times for them tonight. It's their 8th penalty.
First down 15.
First and 15 at the 44-yard line. It's Croton at quarterback. Waits, Moulton's there, and it's knocked away.
Broken up by number 12, Tyson
Sauer makes the play on the ball.
Skyview still leading. Snow Canyon 61-14.
A lot of time back there for Croton. You've got Brown coming near side. He didn't even really run his pattern, so you know they weren't going to him. And the catch made out there by Reimer. His first catch of the game.
Taylor Reimer on the catch. Gets down to the Grizzly 36-yard line.
19 yards. So now they're doing it through the air. Pineview with 5 in the pattern. There's a flag as Croton's in trouble. Croton taken down back at the 48. Let's see what the flag is. 16-yard loss on the sack. And I would have to think that the flag's against Pineview, that they're going to decline it. Did anybody mark where he was dragged down? He was dragged down back at the 48-yard line. And all the officials are standing up there at the 45. And when I say 48, I mean 48 of Pineview. Boy, they're taking a long time talking about this. Well, they're going to spot it at the, they've spotted it at the 50. Offsides on Logan.
Against the Grizzlies.
And how do you administer this play? That's offsides. That's before the snap. Or is it at the snap? They didn't stop play. Like if they blow that dead, then it's 1st and 5. If they let the play run out, then you walk it off after that 16-yard loss, and it's an 11-yard loss. I think it's going to be 1st and 5. Yeah. And that's, you don't believe the right call. The crowd here doesn't like it, but that's the right call. The officials huddled up, talked about it, got it right. You know, you talk about, oh, what are they taking so long for? They're taking a long time to try to get it right. That's all you can ask from your officiating crew. Croton bobbles the snap. He's waiting. Brown's in the end zone. Larson's with him. Ball caught out of the back of the end zone.
Pass incomplete out of the end zone. Second down 5.
Ash Brown's a good athlete. It's Pineview coaching staff, the ones that I talked to, went on and on about Brown and his athletic ability. And I mean, they're not lying. We saw him make an outstanding catch in the first half. He's run like crazy. Here's Wright, first down, and a head of steam. Legs cut out from under him, down at about the 11-yard line, 20 yards, and a first down for Tosh Wright. He's got 86 yards rushing on 14 carries. And the Logan rushing defense has had some issues all year.
Wright gets the ball again.
And they're really having issues with Wright and Brown. He stopped at the 2-yard line. They didn't even let him get the chain set. Second and goal. Snap over the head of Croton, and he has to go back and get on it.
Recovered.
Excuse me, way over his head. Clear back at the 22-yard line.
All the way back to the 22-yard line.
Wow, it's a 20-yard loss.
Third and goal from the 22.
Third and goal from there. All right, now find Brown. Where is he? Is he the wide receiver to this near side? I believe so. Croton gets late pressure. Ball over the middle. Reimer hit. He's not in the end zone. Now he is. That ball crossed. Touchdown. How many times tonight on 3rd and long have the Grizzlies given up a big play? A lot. 22 yards and a touchdown. Too much time for Croton. And Reimer did the rest.
Brooksby in for the extra point attempt.
Brooksby on to give the Panthers the lead. Another high snap. Brooksby gets his foot into it and misses.
And it's no good.
Something he rarely does. 41-35, Pineview with the 6-point lead.
My grandpa went to the Star Hospital to get his back fixed. The doctor used a robot to make a mini invasion. That's pretty cool. When Grandpa had his old back, he just laid on the couch and watched the news. But now we do cool stuff like fishing and hiking.
We provide comprehensive spine care and minimally invasive orthopedic procedures at 8 Star hospitals all along the Wasatch Front. Look for the Star.
Wonder where we keep all the robots.
Couple of issues with the snap on that drive. One of them overcome by Pineview, a snap over the head of the quarterback and made it 3rd and 22. They overcame it with a 22-yard touchdown pass. And then a not good snap at all on the PAT. Threw off Brooksby's timing. He still got into it, but he missed it. So it's a 6-point lead.
Ball sails into the end zone. 1st and 10 Grizzlies.
So the Grizzlies take over at their own 20-yard line, down by 6, 41-35. The Grizzlies, last time they had the ball, had a good drive going down deep into Pineview territory. Parkinson took a big sack, which is something that usually doesn't happen. This Logan offensive line hasn't given up many, and Parkinson probably could have climbed the pocket, and he kept drifting back and got into the sack. He made up for it with a nice run later on 4th down, and then a penalty. Here's a run. Thornley hauled down, but not until he gets deep into Panther territory.
31-yard line. 1st down, Grizzlies.
39 yards for Thornley. As the Red Sea parted, and Thornley into Panther territory. This may be the last team that has the ball wins type of game. Pawnee slips out of one tackle. Straight ahead. Pineview has missed some tackles, but you're watching them. They're trying to get a turnover a lot of times. They're trying to turn that ball over, and Logan's runners need to make sure they secure it. Parkinson stepping up, looking for Van Leeuwen. Touchdown! 37 yards. Parkinson's over 400. .420 and 4 touchdowns. Van Leeuwen's at 179 and 3 of those touchdowns. PAT, good. Logan, 42. Pineview, 41 with 1:21 to play in the 3rd. .42, 41, 1:21 to play in the 3rd. Logan answers the Pineview touchdown with one of their own. Johnny Parkinson has 420 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. On the other side of the ball, Dallin Brown has 145 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. And Coffin puts this one at the 1.
Ball is returnable.
Bateman out to the 22-yard line.
Return to about the 22-yard line.
And now the Pineview offense, locked and loaded, back out on the field. Just ask the coaches, the Logan coaches that are up here right near us, how many players go both ways. 'Cause I was looking at, it seems like they don't use a lot of guys both ways. Nye is one of them. And they don't, but their defense isn't getting much of a rest when they're scoring in 3 plays. Here's the give to Wright. Wright. Submarine down, but not until he picks up 11.
Picks up the 1st down for Panthers.
.105 yards for Wright on 16 carries. See who the quarterback is. I think that's Brown. It is. They hand to Wright. Wright breaks through the line and picks up another 13 yards. Pineview can do it both ways, in the air and on the ground. Logan's done it through the air tonight. They've started to run the ball a little bit. Thornley with 71 yards. He only had 10 at the half. Brown's going to keep it. Gets to the edge. Good blocking out there, and he dances out of bounds after an 8-yard run.
Actually, marking at the 47. 32nd and 3.
28 seconds to play in the third. Brown at quarterback still. It was Croton, pretty much that whole last series. And Brown was playing receiver. Brown's going to keep it again. Picks up the first down and steps out of bounds after a gain of 4.
To the 43-yard line, that's good for Pineview first down.
He's going to the left side. He was attacking the right side a lot in the first half. He hasn't come this way much in this second half. Now he holds, pressured, gets to the edge, finds a man underneath, turns it upfield. That's Bateman. He's out to about the 41. Excuse me, the 41, the 38. It's 4 yards, and there's 4 seconds to play in the quarter. They're going to give it to Wright. Wright has the first down. Let's see. It depends on the spot. That's going to be the last play of the quarter. And I think it's going to be third and less than a yard when we come back. Logan 42, Pineview 41 as we head to the fourth.
Do you need some help crossing the street?
The world judges. We don't. Planet Fitness. Be free.
Well, we didn't go to the quarter break. They decided that they were going to measure before they went to the quarter. So they're going to measure and see if it was a first down. And he looks like he's just a little bit short. Now they'll go to the quarter break. Pineview, as I'm looking at the stats through 3 quarters, Pineview had 332 yards at the half. They got 507 now. Well, let's add Logan's up real quick. Just take a minute. There's to add all of these up since we didn't get that full timeout. They have 128 yards rushing, does Logan, 420 yards passing for 548 yards. So Logan with 548 yards, 507 for Pineview. Close on the stats, close on the scoreboard. 42-41 Logan with the 1-point lead. Stansbury leads Mountain View. The winner of this game will play the winner of Stansbury and Mountain View. Stansbury leads Mountain View 28-22, just starting the fourth quarter in that one. Park City leads Salem Hills in the fourth 28-24. Skyview with a running clock beating Snow Canyon 61-21. Orem beats Tooele 68-12, and Spanish Fork 44-0 over Ogden in the early going. And another penalty on Pineview, starting to play a little early. Mountain Crest and Desert Hills just kicked off about 15 minutes ago in Green Canyon. And Dixie about 45 minutes away from kickoff. So another penalty on Pineview. 9 penalties on the Panthers. Logan with 7. So it's 3rd down and 5. Brown sees an opening, goes down.
Brown keeps the ball, he's wrapped up.
Grizzlies closed on him quick. He picked up a couple, but he needed 5, and it's probably a 4th down situation where Pineview would go for it. And Croton's going to come in at quarterback. So Brown's on the sideline, Croton the quarterback. Man, I might come after him if I'm Logan. Again, very easy to coach from up here with nothing on the line. And they bring guys up, and Croton throws it incomplete. He threw it low and away from Bateman because the defensive back was there. He was throwing low and away to where only his receiver could catch it, and Bateman couldn't come up with it. Well, that's a big play. A fourth down stop where that has been at a premium, and the Grizzlies with a 1-point lead in the ball. Neither team is led by more than a touchdown. Van Leeuwen, no, that's Nye in motion behind the formation. They're going to fake the pitch. Parkinson hangs on, slipping tackles, down he goes. See if he's okay. His leg kind of buckled under him as he made that last cut. He's fine. That's 15 yards as he hops right up. And that's a little wrinkle here in the second half that they run a couple of times. Four-man rush. Parkinson breaks the pocket. Asks Thornley to block for him and picks up 3.
3 yards on that play. They'll give him 2. Second down and 8.
Parkinson had 0 yards rushing at the half on 2 carries. He's got 38 on 8 carries now, so he's averaging just over 6 yards a carry here in the second half. And run the ball 6 times with 10:45 to play in the game. Logan by 1, 2nd and 7. And hand it off to Thornley. He's got blocking. He's down to the 40. It's going to be 3rd and about 2.
Gets to the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down.
Thornley's found some running lanes here in this second half as well. I don't know if they're blocking it different, what they're running, but he's got 77 yards. He had 10 yards at the half. They're going to hand to him again, and he tries to get outside, and everybody comes up for Pineview. So you see what Logan's trying to do. They're having some success with the run. They keep it on the ground and see if they can't shorten this game with a lead, but Pineview hasn't been able to stop the pass. And here's what they had just a moment ago with the Panthers. A 4th down. It's 4th and 4. Ooh, Pineview just about offsides. Eight seconds on the play clock. Here's the inside throw. Parkinson puts it right on the chest of the receiver, and he can't come up with it. Wow, he put it right in his chest, and as he slid to the ground, I don't know if he dropped it or had it stripped away, but that was a perfect pass. And the defensive back was right there, and the receiver couldn't hang on to it heading to the ground. And now Pineview takes over with good field position at the 42. Brown, the quarterback, gives it to Wright. Wright tripped up. Picks up 4.
4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
126 yards for Wright. Brown's got 155 on the ground. Uh-oh, that door's open for him. Switches the ball to his other hand. Pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line. He picks up 9. Over 300 yards on the ground for Pineview now. We're close to it. Brown's going to keep it. He's wrapped up after a gain of 1.
He was wrapped up by number 42, Cade Rush on the tackle.
291 yards. Oh, and there was that snap over the head. So 271 yards. So you take that 20-yard loss off the running total. So a little further away from 300 yards than I thought. 4 wide receivers. Brown's going to roll far side. Throws, ball comes out. 3rd and 9. 3rd and long has not been kind to the Logan defense. They've given up multiple big plays on 3rd and long. And Croton's the quarterback now. And you can rush him different than you can rush Brown. You can come after him. He's not nearly as mobile as Brown. Let's see what they do. They're going to do a 4-man pass rush. They're going to rush him just like Brown. And he's got all sorts of time to throw, and he throws it complete to Reimer, who gets out of the tackle, and he's down inside the 15. 32 yards on 3rd and 9.
First down at the 13 for Pineview Panthers.
Reimer's only got 3 catches, but he's got 73 yards on those catches. Pineview looking to retake the lead. Croton again, over the middle. I think that's Reimer again, and he picks up 8. Croton's over 200 yards passing. And Reimer's at 81 receiving with 4 catches. Hand it to Wright for the end zone. Touchdown. Pineview takes the lead.
And punches it into the end zone for 6.
133 yards on 20 carries, 2 touchdowns, and Pineview will go for 2 to try to make it a 7-point ball game. And they're going to wildcat direct snap it, pop it back out, and they're throwing for the end zone. Pick, we're going the other way. He can't stay on his feet. Pineview takes the lead, but they only lead by 5. 47-42, 7:48 to play in the ball game. You're watching the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. So Pineview finds the end zone. After Logan turns it over on downs, Pineview punches it in, 47-42. Then they run a little trickeration on the PAT, going for 2. It's intercepted by the Grizzlies. And it's a 5-point Pineview lead. So if the Grizzlies can score, you'd think they'd go for 2. This one returned and up to about the 21-yard line.
Isaac Larson on the return.
If the Grizzlies score, you'd think they'd go for 2 to make it a field goal ball game. A field goal would tie it rather than win it. 7:39 to play in the ball game, and Logan with the ball. There's enough time on that clock for both of these teams to probably score about 3 more times. Again, this game might go down to the wire, and whoever has the ball last may be the winner. Only 1 turnover tonight, and that's been by Logan. Parkinson unloads underneath. Just kind of threw it in the ground, led Pawnee a little bit much, and that would have had to been a perfect throw, and I think he was just kind of getting rid of that. 2nd and 10. The last time Logan had the ball, they had pretty good field position. They kept it on the ground. Now they're going back to opening it up a little bit. Now they're behind. They give it to Pawnee. Pawnee's got an opening. Pawnee works his way up to about the 28. So 6 yards. It'll be 3rd and 4.
28-yard line. It'll be a 3rd down.
10 carries, 34 yards for Pawnee. Parkinson's got 38 on 8. Thornley's got 76 on 14, and Nye has 1 for 14.
Parkinson's run for a touchdown. Thornley's rushed for a touchdown. But the big numbers on Parkinson, 420 yards, 4 touchdowns. Pineview showing blitz. Off the edge and up the middle. Let's see if they bring him. They bring it off the edge. Parkinson steps up. First down.
Johnny Parkinson drives forward.
Needed 4, he got 5.
3-yard line. That's good for Logan High Ridley. First down.
And the clock runs with 6.5 to play. Logan trailing by 5, 47-42. Give to Thornley. Picks up a block, cuts inside, spins to the 40.
He spins out from the 40-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
6 yards for Thornley. Had 113 last week at Payson. They're going a little screen to the outside. Receiver hauled down, but Van Leeuwen picks up a first down before Bateman hauls him down.
That's another Logan High Ridley first down.
Van Leeuwen adds to his totals. He's got 184 yards receiving on 7 carries. Nye with 154 on 7 carries. Van Leeuwen 2 touchdowns, Nye with 1. Here's the little delay to Thornley. Thornley back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. And the clock continues to tick away. 5.5 minutes remaining in the ball game. Logan trailing by 5. 2nd and 10 at their own 45-yard line. Parkinson, nice pocket, unloads over the middle. Charlie Jensen couldn't get the separation. He got held a little bit coming out of his break, but not enough to draw a flag. And if you're not holding as a defensive back, you're not playing football. 37th pass of the game for Parkinson. (23 of 37), 425 yards. And this is the biggest pass of the game. Over the middle, his receiver's being held again, but he catches it. What a grab!
Catch made, but there is a flag on the field.
That's Thornley. That was a heck of a grab. And that was 16 yards. And I'm sure they'll just take the play.
That was Van Leeuwen on the catch.
And that was Thornley on that grab, I believe. Yeah, pass interference on Pineview. 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies at the 39 of the Panthers. With 5 minutes to play in a 5-point ball game. Parkinson throws. Out to the edge, he finds Van Leeuwen, who twisted everything up, including himself. 7 yards.
Tim Van Leeuwen over there. 2nd down and 4.
Van Leeuwen closing in on 200 yards receiving. Parkinson flushed, steps forward in the middle, has a man, Nye, slips a tackle, touchdown! (33 yards).
Johnny Parkinson, Kevin Nye.
481 yards and 5 touchdowns for Parkinson. And the Grizzlies will go for 2. Successful PAT here makes it a 3-point lead for Logan. And they're going to have to call a timeout. No, it's a trick play. Here's the throw. Parkinson's wide open. (40-50 to 47). Logan with 4.5 to play in the game.
So, you bought your computer from one of those big box stores, or online, and now it's really slow, or just not working right.
Target acquired.
PCs Unlimited can fix it. Fixing computers is what we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. Service, repair, diagnostics, networking, upgrades, system and data recovery, all your computer needs. Our prices are low, and our customer service is the best. You won't get help from the big box or online. Come see the professionals at PCs Unlimited.
Well, Pineview tried the trickeration on their 2-point attempt. Logan did the same. Parkinson came toward the sideline and kind of waved his hands together like he was going to call for a timeout, but he never did. Then they snapped the ball, and it was Kevin Nye, and he was under pressure, and he threw it to Parkinson, who was wide open in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. For Parkinson, that's his second reception of the season. His first one was in a game we did here a few weeks ago where he had the ball batted right back in his face, and he caught it and ran with it. Oh, and then the kick goes out of bounds. And Coffin's kicked so well tonight. He's been nails. And that one, I don't know if he was looking to try to squib it, but it ends up hooking on him and going out of bounds. He'll be up at the 35-yard line. So we mentioned, I've said this just a few minutes ago, might be the last team with the ball that wins. Well, Pineview's got it with 4.5 to play. And a good running attack. Parkinson has 481 yards passing. Here's the give to Wright.
Wright gets the handoff, picks up 3 on the play, so we're down to 7.
3 yards for Wright. Logan with 1 turnover on the night, that on the muffed punt. Right at the start of the second half. Pineview has not turned the ball over. Brown's going to keep it. Defensive end is there, but can't haul him down. Little flat angle for Andrew Wallace. And that looks like it's going to be enough for a first down. It is. 7 yards for Brown. So hard to defend because Wallace, he can move. But he was a little flat on his angle as he came off that edge. Brown just stepped around him. Somebody gets free over the middle. Brown unloads. Catch made to Reimer. Reimer's had a huge second half. 34 yards. $121 yards through the air now for, well, it's Croton throwing it now. Down to the 20. And they don't even have the stick set. He's throwing it at 6 yards. And now Croton will step off.
Leading 29 to 20. Oh, excuse me, 57 to 42.
$115 yards receiving for Reimer. Oh my goodness, here's Brown stepping out of tackles. He was going to be caught at the line of scrimmage, and he's into the end zone from 20 yards out. Took him just over a minute to take the lead back.
So Pineview scored with 3:17 left in the game.
192 yards for Brown. And here's Brooksby for the kick. Brooksby steps in, and the kick is up and 54 to 50. 3:17 to play in the ball game. You're watching the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel.
Hey guys, if you've been thinking about a guitar or any other instrument in mind for you or somebody else, we have some great financing options from 6 to 12 months. Yamaha's doing a 12-month plan right now. Come in, get some time to pay it off, and have no interest for up to a year.
If somebody tells you before this game, asks you, what do you think, over 100 points or under 100 points scored in this game? If you took the over, you would have won a Snickers bar from me. Because we're at 104 combined points. You see lots of basketball games in high school that don't have a final score less than this. If I'm Logan, I'm on my toes. Pineview could decide to try to kick this one short or squib it. Here comes Brooksby, and he kicks it away. Into the end zone, clear to the back of the end zone. .3:17 to play in the ball game. Logan trails by 4, 54-50, in what has been an unbelievable football game. Over 1,000 yards of offense between these two teams. 104 points. Parkinson 480 yards passing. Looking for some more as his receiver breaks free to the edge to the 39-yard line. 19 yards for 9. He's got 206. And that's 500 yards passing for Parkinson. To Jensen. Jensen catches, steps out of bounds.
Charlie Jensen, we have a flag on the play.
We got a flag, where is it? I don't see it. They said there's a flag out there. Parkinson's thrown for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns. Now, that's unofficial because that is my math. But I'm a stickler for these stats. I try to do the best that I can. Illegal shift on Logan. So Pineview's been caught for that a couple of times tonight. Now they get the Grizzlies. There's been a lot of penalties in this ball game as well. We're at 6:40. We're at 2 hours and 40 minutes. Usually these high school games are about 2:20. So with all the scoring and the penalties, there's still 3:05 to play on 1st and 15. Parkinson in trouble. Gets out of it. Looks downfield. Knocked away at the last second by Reimer. Reimer's had a big second half. Taylor Reimer, the junior. Somebody replaced his Gatorade at halftime with Monster. So it's 2nd and 15. Under 3 minutes to play. The winner moves on to take on the winner of Stansbury and Mountain View. Parkinson over the middle, just a little long, and boy, the receiver got walloped after the ball hit the turf. Sometimes you'll see a flag on that, but not this time. That was throw number 41 for Parkinson. Stansbury leads Mountain View with 1 minute left in that game, 57-43. Big numbers being put up in 4A today. Skyview scored over 60. Orem scored over 60. Two teams in the 50s here. 3rd and 15.
Parkinson into double coverage. Incomplete.
15 for the Grizzlies.
4th and 15. 4th in the ball game, really. And this game has been so tight. There's a couple things Logan can look back on if they can't get over the hump. A missed field goal, and that right now would have made this a 1-point game. But the fumbled punt in Pineview territory, which led to a Pineview touchdown. 4th and 15. Parkinson unloads. Incomplete.
It's incomplete, and Pineview takes over. 1st and 10.
Logan's got 3 timeouts left.
At the Grizzlies, 34-yard line.
The game's not over, which they need to tell their defensive coaches, I'm sure, telling their players. Get a stop, get the ball back. They've got the timeouts to work with. But Pineview has ripped off chunks of yardage all night long in a great, great ball game. Logan, after a 3-year absence, back in the playoffs. Give to right up the middle. Pineview slams the door.
Touchdown, Pineview.
170 yards rushing on 22 carries and 3 touchdowns for Tosh Wright. Logan struggled against the run most of the year, and tonight they've been lit up. 362, 342 yards rushing for Pineview. And Brooksby's kick is good. 61-50. Pineview is 2 minutes and 28 seconds away from the quarterfinals of the 4A playoffs. (61-50). It's not a basketball game, but it is a track meet here at Logan High School. 2:28 to play. Pineview opens up the biggest lead of the game for either team. And a Logan team heavy on want to, but short on experience, goes up against a Pineview team with a lot of seniors, a lot of studs, and a lot of experience in the playoffs. And Logan punched and punched and punched, but in the end, and it's not over yet, but it looks to be in the end that Pineview's just packing a bigger stick. What a ball game it's been. Johnny Parkinson, 500 yards passing and 5 touchdowns. Dallin Brown for Pineview, 192 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. Tosh Wright, 170 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. If you're a defensive coach, you're just going to burn this game film. I guess it's all digital now. You're just going to take a hammer to every iPad in the building. Parkinson stepping up, gets rid of it. High pass. Parkinson's missed on his last 4 throws. More than that, he's missed on his last 6. He missed on 3rd down, 4th down, and then the last 3. No, that was 4th down. 4, that's 5. He's missed on his last 5 throws. Stepping up, leaving this one short. Jensen went downfield 15 yards, and Parkinson threw it 12. 3rd and 10. 25 of 44 for Parkinson. Check that, 28 of 44 for Parkinson. This game, a few more yards, will be over 3,000 for the season. Underneath, finds Nye. Nye hit immediately after a gain of 7, and he's hurt. He got hit low, right down around the knees. Dylan Butters has already been injured this game, hurt his shoulder early in the 3rd. A Pineview player went out with a leg injury in the 3rd. And now Nye gets hit down low and twisted around as he goes down. And he's had a big night. Nye with 213 yards on 10 catches and a touchdown. He's a senior. So's Van Leeuwen. Parkinson's a senior. They feel like Logan that they've got some good talent coming up. It's going to be hard to fill Johnny Parkinson's shoes. Four wide on 4th and 3. Here comes the late pressure, and the ball's incomplete. It hit the receiver right in the chest, and it was dropped. It was Thornley, who doesn't drop many.
The Grizzlies, 27-yarder.
Seen a couple of those late in the game. On one drive where the Grizzlies had a ball that hit a receiver right in the chest, and he would have been a 1st down. I believe that one was on 4th down, and he couldn't come up with it. And I'm not sure who the receiver was, and don't necessarily want to single him out. Thornley acts like maybe he is dinged up a little bit as he comes off. 1:55 to play in the game. It's an 11-point Pineview lead. See if they just try to run the clock out. Last time these two teams met, Logan scored plus 50. Here's Brown. He drops it, and it bounces right back to him. He picks it up and runs for 8. And that's kind of how things have gone for Pineview. They've made their own luck, but they haven't had anything bad happen to them as far as bad luck. Grizzlies really only that punt that they fumbled, really their only bad luck play too. It's just been a well-played ball game offensively by both teams. And Brown's at 199 yards.
Ogden 51-0. In the 3rd quarter, and Mount Crest leads Desert Hills 7-0.
678 yards of offense for Pineview. For Logan,
we need an officer up here at the booth, please. Can we have a police officer at the booth?
well, for Logan, 680 yards of offense. So 1,358 yards of offense in this game. Here's Wright. Picks up the 1st down, a gain of 6. And Logan's going to take another timeout. Nope, they're not. They're going to move the chains. They stop it to move the chains. Like I mentioned, last time these two teams met, one team scored 50. It was the Grizzlies. They scored 56. That was in the 2005 title game. Game we did on the Valley Channel. Well, Brown's going to keep it. Running around the edge, going to step out of bounds after a gain of 8. ...207 yards on 19 carries for Dallin Brown. This kid could go somewhere and play football on Saturday afternoon and evening. He's going to keep and run off the edge to the other side. He's going to score.
And he dives into the end zone for 6.
From 8 yards out, the final score will not reflect what kind of game this was. Dallin Brown, 20 carries, 215 yards, and 5 touchdowns on the ground. This was back and forth the entire game. Less than a touchdown or less the entire game. And then Pineview has scored 3 straight. 21 straight points. We're going to reset the clock. Should be like 111, one something. It was just over. It was when I looked up at the clock after he scored, it was like 111, 112. The clock kept running.
1, 2, 3. 1.
Well, the guy in the press box doesn't have binoculars, and he's looking at the ref, trying to see how much time's supposed to be on the clock, and he can't see him. I think it's 103, something like that. It was when he went into the end zone, it was right around 111, 110. So they're going to say 104 on the clock.
.104 left of the game.
PAT's up and good. It's 68-50.
Wendy's natural cut sea salt fries. Just 99 cents. They'll change the way you see change. Enjoy 6 starting at 99 cents each.
It's an 18-point lead for Pineview. They've scored 21 straight points after trailing by 3. It's going to look like they really put the smack down on Logan. But this game has been, until about the last 3 minutes, this game has been a one-score game. Brooksby with that big leg.
Into the end zone for touchback. It'll be
into the end zone. Trying to get a final out of that. Those the other 4A games. Stansbury beat Mountain View. Park City beat Salem Hills 28-24. Skyview beat Snow Canyon. Orem beat Tooele. Spanish Fork really beating up on Ogden. Mountain Crest was leading Desert Hills. Mountain Crest is a team that I think can surprise somebody because they have a nasty defense. In the last couple weeks, they found their offense. We'll see if anybody's got the firepower to stay with Orem. This Pineview team's got plenty of firepower. There's another pass that doesn't make it into the arms of a receiver. Johnny Parkinson's arm might be getting tired. If they had him on a pitch count, they may have the bullpen throwing. He's at 46. And that doesn't count any that came back on penalty. 1 minute. Good season for the Grizzlies. They're going to finish 9-2. They go down the sideline. Nye can't come up with it. Nice to see him back in. We'll see if Nye stepped out of bounds and then came back in, because that was right along the sideline. If he stepped out of bounds and came back in, then the penalty's on him in illegal participation. And we'll see if it's on the defensive back. They're going to pass interference. Okay, on Pineview. That's one thing the Pineview coaches will look at this week with their team is that's lots of penalties. That's their 10th. There have been 19 accepted penalties in this game. Parkinson with 5 touchdowns, 507 yards. The passing game's just kind of dried up here, their last 3 possessions. 8-man drop for Pineview. They dropped 8 into coverage. And Parkinson has plenty of time, but he can't find anybody open. .47 seconds. He was 50-47 with 4.5 minutes to play in this ball game. And in 3.5 minutes, Pineview scored 21 points. Here's a wide open receiver out on the far side. 13 yards. I believe that was Jensen. 5 catches, 55 yards. Parkinson comes out of the pocket, picks up a yard. 20 seconds left, and the clock runs. Logan's not going to call timeout, trailing by 3 touchdowns. Parkinson steps up, throws down the sideline and out of bounds.
Incomplete, 3rd down. 8 seconds left in the game.
Pass number 48. 8 seconds left. Dallin Brown, 215 yards rushing for Pineview, 5 touchdowns, 176 and 3 touchdowns for Tosh Wright. To offset 520 yards and 5 touchdowns for Johnny Parkinson. And Pineview will move on to play Stansbury next week, as this one's thrown out of bounds and 4th down at the 50-yard line with 3 seconds left. Over 1,300 yards of offense in this game, unofficially. But my calculator asked me to put it out of its misery in the 3rd quarter. 4th and 8. This down will just be for stats. Parkinson in trouble. Runs for the sideline, steps out of bounds, and Pineview makes the long trip from St. George, and it ain't for nothing as they get the win. They're going to move on to the quarterfinals. Great season by the Logan Grizzlies. Just didn't quite have enough juice to stick with the Panthers. Next week, it'll be the quarterfinal game with Skyview here on the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. Until then, have a great week. We'll see you next time on the Valley Channel.
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Mountain Star Cache Valley Hospital, together we're greater. Cache Valley Electric, a tradition of excellence since 1915. New Smile Dental, experience dental care. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you have been missing. Lynn's Audio and Video, Cache Valley specialist for 60 years. Mountain Valley Heating and Air Conditioning, give us a call. You'll be glad you did. Herms Inn, last chance for great food. Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. Four Seasons Apartments and Townhomes is your home. Planet Fitness of Logan, no intimidation and only $10 a month. Aspen Dental, get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff. all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 25 years.